Hi everyone, I wanted to talk about my guy, Adam Smith, a Scottish philosopher and economist, and the best Enlightenment thinker of all time. Adam Smith revolutionized economic theory, that's what he's known for, so let's talk about that first. One day he decided to create the Wealth of Nations, and basically, Adam Smith said, "You suck," to mercantilism. And you can see Jean-Baptiste Colbert crying in the corner, because this book would ruin mercantilism in Europe. So, what did the Wealth of Nations even say? Well, it basically said that our need to fulfill our own desires resulted in prosperity. That means that people will always need something for themselves. If you want to get a bagel, for example, you would go to a store or bakery and buy one because you want one. The people selling it to you, they would know that you're interested, hence why they're selling it, and both sides would benefit. People promote public interest through economic choices, a free market force that is known as the invisible hand. Basically, the invisible hand, and I don't know why he called it an invisible hand. It's kind of creepy, an invisible hand. But basically what it is that it comes from the collaboration of consumers and producers in commerce. It's basically, he believed that everyone is kind of selfish. And he thinks that everyone wants to satisfy their desires in some way, like I mentioned before. The issue is, if everyone is selfish, how can anyone depend on each other? Well, he came up with a solution. He thinks that the free market was guided by this invisible force that would produce the right amount and variety of goods. Basically saying it was self-regulating. To expand out on this further, because I need to stretch this video out longer, let's use an example. If a guy is selling bagels and sees that the bagels are selling well, let's say everyone buys like 10 bagels for themselves. I don't know, this is like a math problem. I don't know why. But let's say that's what's happening. Then the baker will see, okay, I can raise the price of these things so that I can make more moolah. Then people start to buy less because, some people are broke, and they can't buy bagels, and the market for bagels will regulate. So then, the question is, what does Adam Smith think of government interference? Well, he considers that this process results in shortages and surpluses, something that, is bad for the economy. This is something called laissez-faire. It's basically the idea that the government shouldn't touch the economy at all because they're going to screw it up. Some laws that you should know that the Commonwealth of Nations outlines is the law of competition. The market system incentivizes producers to be efficient and to respond to the desires of consumers. And then the law of supply and demand. People who sell things because they want to will sell stuff people actually want at prices they will pay. Before the Wealth of Nations, countries would determine their wealth based on the value of their gold and silver deposits. But now, countries were evaluated based on production and commerce, which would now be known as GDP. Secondly, countries would also be scared to trade, since trade was thought to be a zero-sum game because of mercantilism. Then Adam Smith, he was like, no! And said, guys, if we trade with each other, you'll both benefit. And then the countries were like, really? Okay. And imports and exports increased. Basically, Adam Smith influenced literally everyone. Nobody cares about Voltaire or Galileo and their dumb ideas. Without Adam Smith, you'd have no money. And really, that's the only thing that matters.